You need to watch this video because you need to find out what happened here. But apparently, I'm the king of Camelot and all of England. This is the Yoloway F10, a very nice looking, folding, medium fat tyre step-through e-bike with a few little hidden extras like a motor that seems suspiciously big and dual suspension, something you don't usually get on a step-through. So is it any good? Let's find out. But what is this Yoloway F10? Well, it's an e-bike. It's a folding step-through e-bike, medium weight, 29 kilograms. 2, 3. But a high capacity for carrying 180 kilograms. That's like the most I've ever seen, I think. I usually see 150. 250 watts legal. No throttle. So yeah, fully UK, EU legal on the road. Oh. Where's this crazy amount of traffic just suddenly come from? Okay, that was a bit of a setback. Lost my selfie stick. Anyway, 250 watt motor, 48 volt battery, so that's nice. Might have a bit more oomph than your standard 250 watt bike. 13 amp hour capacity battery, which gives a range, they say, 90 kilometers. We'll report on that later. It's potentially a very nice folding step-through e-bike, if that's the kind of thing you're after. And it might be that that's the kind of thing you're after and you don't even realise it. I've got the Lumos helmet on again, mainly because I wanted to test out again the PID Zoom rear view mirror, because on the advice of a viewer, I've tried a shorter arm, and although they like the convex mirror, which gives you more of a view of the road, I've tried the flat mirror this time. Quite liking it actually. So if you want to see more of this, I've done a video on it. I'll put a link below. And I'll put a link to the actual mirror in the thing as well. Right, we've got to the bit where the potholes are. This bike has got front and rear suspension. The rear suspension doesn't seem to have lots of travel, but it is there. Tyre wise, 20-inch diameter, 3 inches wide. So not your typical fat tyres, but they're pretty thick. So they're still going to be pretty comfortable over stuff like this. At the moment, oh, the battery has gone down to 3 bars. Doesn't like this hill. It is quite a big hill. Right, go the bumps. Right. To be honest, I can barely feel the rear suspension. It just feels like there's a bit of flex in the bike frame. The front suspension is lockable, which is nice, and it's got that usual kind of preload dial that is meant to reduce the travel of the suspension but doesn't really do anything. And that brings us nicely to the hill climb. 50 Newton meters of torque. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, hang on. No. Just remembered I can unlock this bike. It's really simple to unlock this bike. Actually, hold the 2 buttons. Oh, no. That's the brightness. Second setting is miles, kilometers. 8th setting, you see, says 25. And I'm going to up that to 60 and something, and that should fully unlock the bike. Right, let's try again. 3, 2, 1, go. Something I've noticed, the cadence sensor, that is the sensor that e-bikes have that detect turning of the pedals, and when they do, they give you power. Some of them give you power quickly, some of them give you power slowly. This is definitely in the slower category. 50 Newton meters of torque. This is not liking this hill at all. We're down to 5 miles an hour. Cars tentatively going past 3 miles an hour. I'm calling it at the grip box. So that is a fail up the hill. As always, I've got a pedal as well to show you that on an e-bike. With that little bit of extra power, you can still get up the hill. Down to 3 bars again, so a bit of battery sag this one. Of course, we've got gears. Shimano Tawny, standard cheapo gears. Well adjusted though. You might get them and they're not well adjusted. It's a case of turning a couple of screws on the derailleur Let's see how fast we can go up here. On the flat, no help, ghost pedaling. We got to 15, 16. The no load speed, so the speed it could go when I wasn't sitting on it, it went up to 23. We're currently doing about 17, 18, 19. Do I see 20? This is not me helping, by the way, because there's no throttle, but I do have to ghost pedal. Basically about 20 miles an hour then. So now I'm gonna bump it up. So I'm helping. And because the motor's not going to cut out, it is literally helping all the way. That helps reduce the resistance at the high speeds. So 23, 24. Right, 24 and a bit. I would have got 25 if I really tried. Yeah, I was talking about this cadence sensor. It definitely takes a few rotations before it kicks in, which is unfortunate because, of course, there's no throttle. So if you are on like a hill or something, you're going to struggle. You're going to make sure you're in first gear. Give yourself a little push off with your feet. Now the bike's got a few amenities. It's got a pretty standard bell. The brakes are cable disc brakes. We'll do a brake test shortly. More about those as well from the build. We talked about the lockable suspension. You've got fronts and rear mud guards, which I believe are, yep, black plastic. Rack on the back, which is nice. It's nice to get some of this stuff without having to pay extra. Pedals, foldable metal pedals that feel solid. Stand, I'm not a massive fan of the stand. It's not one of them chunky stands, it's a bit of a thin stand. You got your front light and your rear light. Happily, the rear light is wired into the bike. When it's wired into the bike, it means you don't have to worry about changing the batteries. This is a very nice colour screen, easy to see in daylight. The way it looks, I wouldn't say it's like a stunning bike, but it doesn't look, it looks fairly sporty for a drop frame. So I don't think you'll look silly on it. It does feel a bit compact forward to backwards, but by raising the saddle, it's not too bad. I'm pretty sure they said 5'1". I would agree with this. Maximum wasn't actually that tall on the website. They said 6'1". Are they being conservative? I reckon you can be a bit taller than 6'1" and pedal comfortably on that. Well, then brakes. I'm not expecting a good brake test. We got no one behind us. We're going to do it at this tree. We're going 18. Ooh, no skid. Right, there's the tree, probably about 4 meters. There's this cadence sensor taking ages to kick in, and now it's kicked in. Now we're on the flat, the battery is back up to 5. 624 watt hours. It's a very standard capacity for this kind of bike. 90 kilometers is only doable. Pedal assist 1. Warm day, light rider, probably about 60 kilograms. More on the range later. But those brakes, the front brake, let me show you the front brake just on its own. Yeah, it didn't really do much. It doesn't do that much, does it? It's more like a polite stoppage. Basically, when I got the bike, the build was really easy. I was really happy to see that the front wheel and the back wheel were already on. So all I had to do was do the pedals and the handlebars, I think it was. However, the front and rear brake discs were really rubbing, like lots. So I had to adjust those, and it took absolutely ages to get the disc like in between the brake pads so they shouldn't rub. And it appears, the way I've got it, the front disc isn't really gripping that well. As you saw though, both together, they're not too bad. I've had worse. In the box we've got a manual and tools, pedals, 2-amp charger. That's it.
After 10 miles, the bike was on 4 bars of the flat, but voltage did sag to 2 bars going at full speed or up a hill, which means that when you're down to between 2 and 3 bars, there will be a noticeable power drop if you're trying to ride fast or up a hill. If you want to ride this bike unlocked, then you're going to get between 15 and 20 decent miles at full speed. Keeping it locked to 15.5, then you'd get a bit more. And of course, if you're happy to use a lower assist level, then you'd get even more than that.
Do I recommend this bike? That's the question. Well, I've not seen many Yoloway bikes, and it comes in at 899 euros. There is a discount code they said they'd give me. Now for euros price, it's not too bad. However, when you've had the bikes like the Farfrees that I had a few videos ago, then this probably isn't as good as that bike. That bike didn't have rear suspension. It also had the open battery style. This bike's actually quite interesting in that it's a step-through bike, but it's got the battery inside the body, like your standard kind of fat tyre type bike. Usually it's at the back and you have to lift up the saddle to get to it.
Now the question is having the battery on the inside a good thing? On a step through, I'd say maybe not. I'd prefer to be able to remove the battery in a few seconds. Step through bikes are meant to be convenient, and this bike had a few features that were very inconvenient.
That lever's nasty. Ugh. You got to do it with 2 hands, which is why there's not a close up, because I usually do it with my phone. So we've got that open. Maybe that'll loosen with time. Let it land on the metal thing, helps you get the pedals out of the way. Lever on the handlebars, not as stiff as the lever on the body. There we go. And it's also got foldable pedals. Pretty compact, more for storage than taking on public transport. The battery's in there. We've got the key underneath, so fully turn that, remove the key because it won't come out because the key's keeping it in, and then you can, if I've folded it enough, pull out the battery. It's a bit stiff, so you've got a little lever you can pull. It's very stiff actually. Oh, bloody hell. Ow. 2 hands. Ow. Bloody hell. I wonder if it's because it's diagonal and I'm pulling it wrong. Ah! And again, you sort of leverage. Ah, there we go. Ah, pull that off. And why make it so bloody tight? I mean, it doesn't need to be this tight to not rattle. Let's do this again, and hopefully it doesn't break. I've never had this happen before. Right, well, I'm not going to get defeated by this. Ow, 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 crushing my hand, crushing my hand. You'd think that as it gets further out, it gets looser, but doesn't seem to. And because it's got a plastic kind of pulley thing, there's always the chance you're going to break it. Right, I'm actually going to put the bike down. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh, thanks for watching. Right, safe. Now you've got to get it back in.
But at least you need the key to run the bike. If you leave the battery in but remove the key, intrigued youths won't be able to turn it on.
But when you compare it directly to things like the Hitway and the Farfrees we've had before, oh, and there's another one, I forgot what it was. Oh, what was that one? The black one with the white wall tyres, that was decent. I kind of prefer those ones, especially the Farfrees. I really like the Farfrees. But like, this is okay. If you've never had an e-bike before, you'll get on it and you'll probably think, oh, that's quite nice. So if you get it for a good price, it's gonna do okay for you. But you might watch out for the range, and if you've got a lot of big hills, you might struggle a bit. But it's fairly decent. but I think there's probably better for the price. But it's got a few decent things going for it. It does have nice hand grips, and it's good that it's got the rear rack and the mud guards included. I'll leave a link in the description because it's definitely worth checking out if it, you know, if it turns out to be quite cheap. When, you know, convert it into pounds, take off the discount code. If you get into about £600, £500 to £600, then this is actually a really good buy. But yeah, there we go. There was the Yoloway F10. Fairly nice bike for the money. So if you do want to check that bike out and you end up purchasing it, please use our link in the description. It just takes you to their website, just like any other, but it gives us a little bit of commission that helps out the channel, and I very much appreciate it. If you enjoyed that video, got something out of it, give us a thumbs up. And until next time, ride safe. And it all folds back together really nice and easy and pain-free. So if you need a folding step-through e-bike that easily folds and unfolds and removes the battery, then this is the bike for you.